This is ninth lit. We don't have a long class today. Not everybody meets, so we're just going to read a little bit. This is Veterans Day, so we're reading a book about war, so I thought we'd read a few stanzas. So the French, about to go into battle, have been absolved of their sins. Remember, what does that mean? Right, that's exactly right. The priest has pardoned them, so now they can die without sins on their record, unforgiven sins, and go to heaven. So the French rise up. I thought this was a beautiful scene. They're down on one knee. There's 20,000 men all at once down on one knee, and he has prayed for them. I can just picture him in the middle of them or something, surrounded by these men, and then they rise up. The French rise up and on their feet stand close. All of their sins are shriven and made whole. And the Archbishop, God's blessing has bestowed. Then on swift steeds they leap to battle, to saddle bow, armed with the arms prescribed by knightly code. All are now ready to go, ready into the field to go. Count Roland said to Oliver, right so. Sir, my companion, too true the words you spoke, that all of us by Ganelon were sold. He's ta'en the wages and goods and gold. The emperor's vengeance, I think, will not be slow. Marsil the king has bargained for our bones. He'll need the sword to fetch his purchase home. They know they've been betrayed by Ganelon. He says, through the gate of Spain, Roland goes riding past of Villeneuve. His swift, by the way, that means wide awake. That's a cool name for a horse. His swiftly running barb, well, it becomes him to go equipped in arms. Bravely he goes and tosses up his lance. High in the air he lifts the lance head far. A milk-white pennon, that's a small flag, battle flag, is fixed above the shaft, whose failing fringes whip his hand and on the haft. Nobly he bears him, with open face he laughs, and his companion behind him follows hard. The Frenchmen all acclaim him with strong guard. On Saracen he throws a haughty glance, but meek and mild looks on the men of France, to whom he speaks out of a courteous heart. Now, my lord barons, at walking pace advance, looking for trouble these paynims ride at large. A fine rich booty will have ere this day's past. Never French king beheld a like by half. E'en as he speaks, their battle joins, and they charge. So picture this long line of cavalrymen. Behind there's another line, and behind that 20,000 of them. And instead of waiting for the Saracens to attack, and they see them out there, they are advancing toward them. They all start at a walking pace, the horses, together. It's hard to charge in a line. Once you let it go, some people are going to be faster than others, so you want to keep them together. And so finally, at the end of that, they charge. So they get into galloping mode. They probably lower their lances, and they attack. Here's Oliver. Quoth Oliver, I have no more to say. To sound your horn to help you would not deign. So here you are. You've not got Charlemagne. Little he knows, brave heart, he's not to blame, nor those with him, no wise in fault they. Ride forward, then, and do the best you may. Barons, my lords, hold firm amid the fray. Now, for God's sake, be resolute, I pray, to strike hard blows, to give them and to take. King Carlin's war cry, forget not to proclaim. A mighty shout, the Frenchmen give straightway. Whoso had heard the cry mount joy. Circle that. I promise you that will be on the test. What is the French war cry? It's Mount Joy. They raise, he would remember its valiance all his days. They charge, Lord God was ever sight so brave. They spur their steeds to make the greater haste. They fall a-fighting, there is no other way. The Saracens join battle undismayed. Paynims and Franks are fighting face to face. And then 93. Now Adelroth, he was King Marsil's nephew. Before the host becomes first of his fellows, with evil words the French he thus addresses. So I'm going to give you a little formula here. I want you to write it in the margin. We're going to have to skip some of this. I'd already planned to do that. But the formula is this. You got 12 peers and you got 12 Saracen peers. And so each French peer will take on one Saracen peer, like one-on-one, 12 times. And the formula is this. The Saracen, in every case, insults the Frenchman. The Frenchman gets mad and kills the Saracen, and then insults his dead body. So that for 12 different stanzas, then maybe they're not, I think they combine some, but that's going to be the formula. That's why we're going to skip it. Let me show you how it works. With evil words, the French he thus addresses. So this is the Saracen insulting the Frenchman. Villainous Franks, with us you have to reckon. You've been betrayed by him that should protect you. Your king lacked wit, who in the passes left you. Fair France will lose her honor in this venture. From Carlin's body, the right arm will be severed. Who is Carlin's right arm? Who, not what. We know what his right arm is, but who is, figuratively, his right arm?
I'm not going to answer that.
Remember, right arm meaning what?
Like his right hand man.
Yeah. So who is that? Charlemagne. Who's Charlemagne's most faithful and best warrior? Roland, of course. And so that's what he says. He says, from Carlin's body, the right arm will be severed. So he thinks they're going to kill him, and in doing so, they're going to take off the right arm. Bear with me. We've got 5 minutes. When Roland hears him, God, but his rage is reckless. He spurs his horse, gives full rein to his mettle. His blow he launches with all his mightiest efforts. The shield he shatters, and the hauberk he rendeth. He splits the breast and batters in the breastbone. Through the man's back drives out the backbone bended, and so all forth, and all the spear point fetches. Clean through he thrust him forth of the saddle wrenching. He flings him dead at lance length from his destrier, that's his horse. Into 2 pieces he has broken his neck bone. No less for that he speaks to him and tells him, out on thee, churl, no lackwit is the emperor. He is none such, nor loved he treason ever. Right well he did, who in the past has left us. Neither shall France lose honor by this venture. First blood to us, go to it, valiant Frenchman. Right's on our side, and wrong is with these wretches. And so you see that. The Frenchman, the Saracen insults the Frenchman. This happens to be, I think this is Roland. And so Roland kills him, and he does so, he totally kills him. That sounds a dumb thing, because how do you totally kill somebody? But he sticks his lance into him, and it breaks him in almost 2 pieces. There's some ridiculous scenes here where a guy takes his sword and he practically cuts the horse in half, as well as the man. Some really kind of ridiculous possibilities. And then he finally speaks, and he insults the Saracen he just cut in 2. And that's going to be the pattern. And so I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. We're going to skip the next several pages. I'll tell the other class, you can go ahead and get it. We're going to skip 94. If you want to write that in there, just go ahead and write it down. All right, the rest of you do this so we will know. 94 we're going to skip. We just read 93. 94, 95. 94, 95. 96. 97. 98. 99, and 100. So we're going to skip all the way from 94 to 100. You can write that word so you'll know. We're going to skip 101, and we're going to start back at 102. We got to do better than that. We got to cut more, but the interesting thing, they always show the Frenchman being taken to heaven by the angel, and the Saracen being taken to hell by the devil. So Satan comes personally and takes the soul of a Saracen and took to hell with it. So I'm going to mark this down where we are. Your A, we're going to be on page 102. Number 102, how about that? So 102, 102. And tomorrow you're going to get the review sheet. And so obviously you won't be able to do all of it, but you can start doing it. And we do have to finish reading the book next week, but you'll have that sort of as an ongoing assignment for the next really 2 weeks. The only reason I'm giving you for 2 weeks because we got Thanksgiving in there, and you're not required to do any work over Thanksgiving, but I'm still giving it to you before Thanksgiving. So we'll stop here.